I just said that, so I was like, what? It's just because it was like 3, 2, 1.
What's up? How's it going, guys? Just give us 1 minute. We need to.
Just said like 3, 2, 1.
All right. Yeah.
Time is now. Join the entrepreneurs. Why wait to start your business after uni when the best time is now? Join the Entrepreneur Society for the opportunity to learn from industry experts about generating ideas, funding, and becoming an entrepreneur. With networking events, guest speakers, and workshops, build your entrepreneurial mind with us. For upcoming events, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at MDX Entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. You're live with Ash Khalifa on the MDX Entrepreneur Show on MDX FM. And today we've got a special treat for you guys. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 guest stars. We're going to have a very lovely show today. Let me just first of all say a big shout out to everyone that is watching us live on the Instagram. That is Sudanpreneur. Yep. And then also I'm gonna give the opportunity for my fellow guests to introduce themselves. So who wants to go first? Silence. All right, I'm gonna pick on someone. You go first.
So my name is Ham and I live in Harrow, and today my topic is going to be about drugs and how people need to be aware of their surroundings and the violence and all of that good stuff in London. So yeah, I'll pass it on to the next person.
That's what's up. Welcome, Ham. Welcome, Ham.
Yeah.
You want to go next?
Yeah, Jonathan. I run a radio show here as well, Blue Veins, but mental health. And I'm a student at Middlesex University. And I'm here.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
hello, and my name is Chitakula, aka Tux, and I'm an animation student here. I've also got on my own radio show called Do Your Thing, and yeah, we're here to support your entrepreneurship here.
Thank you. So basically today we had like our first proper meeting for the MDX FM crew. So it was actually really nice to see the faces of all the people that are doing shows. Unfortunately, not everyone could make it because we've got our little WhatsApp group, as you know, it doesn't actually exist unless it's on WhatsApp nowadays. And also, that actually brings me to a very interesting point/joke. Being a member of a WhatsApp admin, that shows leadership, that shows transferable skills. You have to. It shows like you can also manage people. You can delegate. You have a position of authority. So so we've got like about 15 people in our WhatsApp group. And also a couple of times people were asking desperately last minute for someone to come and help them out as an interviewee because someone dropped out. So it's nice to meet everyone, but at the same time it was also nice to see some people that I knew but I didn't realize had a show as well.
So I get some community involved in
exactly
it, so.
And I'm glad that they stayed around after the meeting to help me out on my show.
Of course. Support is everything.
Bring the shows together.
Exactly.
The audiences, that's what we're aiming for.
That's it. So make sure everyone tune in live every week. It's MDX FM. So all my Sudanpreneur peoples, I'm gonna send you guys the link at some point. We're actually making these awesome marketing sort of graphic, which got the QR code, it's got the link, it's got the picture and the description. I'll let them say what time their shows are. Do you want to go first?
My show is it's Blue Veins. It's on 8 till 10. It's about it may be 8 till 9:45 because I might get locked out. I'll leave it till 10. But
what day is that?
It's on every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday,
yeah,
8 till 10.
8 till 10.
And is that AM or PM?
Oh, PM. Sorry.
PM.
Yeah,
okay.
PM, so
yeah, I was worried.
UK time. Man.
I was worried a bit there.
I'm not early. I'm not an early bird.
Okay.
But it's
because someone actually they messaged me. They were like, oh, I didn't know you were on the radio thing. They messaged me privately and they were like, oh, I need your help in it. come co-host with me. I was like, oh, this sounds exciting. And then they were like, oh, no, like Monday at like 9 a.m. I was like,
Nah.
what, in the morning? And he was like, yeah, I'm an early riser. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I'll be able to help you on that one. And what about you, Chucks? What about your show?
Oh, so my show is in fact the one you're just talking about. Low. Yeah. And so my show is basically I'm really trying to engage with students and trying to motivate them. So I know how hard it can be, especially because my target audience really are first years. And I know how difficult it can be, especially with a first year student when you're here. It's quite nerve-wracking. It's quite an overwhelming experience. And I felt me creating a platform that kind of talks about all the things we kind of deal with. So like I would say how to manage your time. How to manage time.
Definitely.
How to manage your money is important. How to eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we
sort of take for granted. Yeah, I was about to say that.
Like when you take it for granted, when you're in an environment where you have to look after yourself, it's very difficult. And then I feel like once you learn how to apply them skills to yourself, it's much easier for you to kind of fit in. Even enjoy your experience at university, because remember, at the end of the day, it's about your university to feed yourself. You're not here for anyone else.
I've got no more money, man. Like all my money goes in the rent now. It's like I'm an adult now.
Yourself, make it worth it. You know what I mean? You come here, you're getting a big loan.
That's it.
You gotta pay that back
at some point, and you need to know how to manage it as well. Make it last.
It's better to get a job right now, part-time maybe, get some extra cash around the corner.
Exactly.
Cash is good.
100%. So basically, for those on the Sudanpreneur Live, shout out. Basically, I'm sure you guys are waiting to hear about today's Sudanpreneur personality that we're going to talk about. And I decided, because of the recent events that happened, I'm going to talk about our beloved current Prime Minister, Abdallah Hamdok. And basically, for those of you that are not aware or don't know what happened, or I might say live under a tree, basically, a couple of days ago, there was an assassination attempt on the life of the Prime Minister. And thankfully, he survived. And, we were shown like images of the cars that were sort of blown up, and like the windows were sort of completely broken. And it was a horrific incident. And, it could have thrown all the hard work and everything that we as Sudanese, did to overthrow the old government. And it could have even created a civil war. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just read what I've got written on my website, Sudanpreneur. And then I'm going to stop the record, and then I'm going to restart, and then we're going to have our show. All right. So Dr. Abdallah Hamdok. Also, just a word to, all my Sudanpreneur people. So basically, the date I wrote this was on the 25th of February 2015. So obviously back then he wasn't the Prime Minister, so it's a little bit out of date, but it will give you a little bit of a good insight and will help us with our discussion for today. So Dr. Abdullah is the Deputy Executive Secretary of the Economic Commission for Africa, and has worked as a policy analyst and economist for over 25 years, addressing development challenges in Africa at the national, sub-regional, and continent-wide levels. Over the years, he has developed an interest in policy-orientated research and analysis, focusing on issues of governance, institutional analysis, public sector reforms, regional integration, and resource management. Prior to his appointment as Deputy Executive Secretary, Dr. Hamdok was Director, Governance and Public Administration Division of the UNECA, which stands for the United Nations Economic, I think it's, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what that one is, but from 2009 to 2011, he was the Director, NEPAD and Regional Integration Division for, that's what I thought it was, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, which is the UNECA. In 2008 to 9, and served as Regional Director for Africa and the Middle East, International IDEA from 2003 to 2008. From 2001 to 3, he worked as a senior governance expert coordinator of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, of the Africa Governance Project, and as acting director of the ECA Development Policy Management Division. From 1997 to 2001, he worked as a principal policy economist, Central Operation Department, African Development Bank in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, and played a lead role in the development of the African Development Bank policy on good governance. During 1995 to 1997, he was Chief Technical Advisor, International Labour Organization for Southern Africa Multidisciplinary Advisory Team for the ILO and SAMAT, and UNDP in Harare, Zimbabwe. He provided technical assistance on poverty measurement and mapping and assisted in the design of projects and programs that address issues of poverty alleviation. He also participated as a technical advisor in the preparation and development of the first regional human development report for SADC. From 1993 to 1995, he was principal consultant, head of public sector grouping, and a member of the management committee of Deloitte and Touche Management Consultants in Zimbabwe. From 1981 to 1987, he served as senior official with the government of Sudan for the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. Abdallah Hamdok holds a PhD and an MA in economics from the School of Economic Studies, University of Manchester, and as well as a Bachelor of Honors from the University of Khartoum in Sudan, and has authored many publications on African development challenges, including governance and other related issues.